What is happening, my friends, and welcome to the Stoke is Real. I am very thankful you have tuned in today from wherever you're at in the world. Thank you so much for tuning in today. This has been a journey for sure. I have been doing a version of a podcast since 2010. 2010, I started on my couch with my phone interviewing my friends. That's when I started Underground Vallie, the podcast. And I would just thought my friends are so cool, so I started interviewing them. And then since then, I've done things at NRM Studios. I've done some things at Woodward Sports Network. And now I decided to try to make a place at my own house that I can do a podcast whenever I want and bring some quality content to you. And this is it. And it'll be growing. It'll be changing, monkeying with the sound, monkeying with the lights, all that kind of stuff. But we're getting there. We're getting there, and you're on this journey with me. So thank you. Thank you very much. And the other thing is, you probably know, I don't really edit. I don't edit. I want to give you the authentic and real me, the way I know it, the way I can convey it. So you're going to get some ums and ahs. You might get me fumbling over my words a little bit, but at the end, you are going to get something out of this show that is life-changing. Something in one of the shows that I have produced will change your life. And I don't know what that is. But today, we're going to talk about the most important hour of your life. You know what that is? You given it any thought? In my opinion, the most important hour of your life is the first hour you wake up every day. The very first hour you wake up every day. And I believe it was 10, 15 years ago. I don't know. I picked up a book called The 4-Hour Work Week by Tim Ferriss. And that book is loaded with good stuff. But the one thing that really stuck with me is his diatribe. Is that the right word? I think so. His conversation about how important a morning ritual is. How important a morning routine is so that you can set yourself up for success each and every day. That 1 hour sets up the next 23. Think about that. That 1 hour sets up the next 23. And what are you doing every morning? We've all had the mornings, and some more common than others. I know I've had them. They don't happen often anymore. But where you wake up, your pinky toe hits a chair, you go to get your coffee out, and maybe you grab your mug, you go to pour it, you spill the coffee. You're like, son of a, it's just going to be one of those days. You're putting that out there. You're telling the world, you're telling the universe, I want to have one of those days, one of those crappy days where everything goes wrong. Well, I encourage you to think about that a little differently. Think about your morning a little differently. Why not set up a definitive routine that you can do almost every morning, because it doesn't happen all the time. Our schedules change, things get in the way. But if you can set up a morning routine, a morning ritual that you do 80 to 90% of the time, your life will change. For me, it became very important because almost 9 years ago is when I decided alcohol wasn't my friend, and it really wasn't. And we'll get into that, I'm sure, at several other shows, but alcohol wasn't my friend, and I had to figure out a different way to live. Vodka was part of my life 24 hours a day before February 2nd, 2017, and I had to figure out a different way to live. And setting up a morning ritual, a morning routine, was key in my sobriety. But it doesn't have to be for sobriety. It doesn't have to have any specific point except to help you get to the greatest life you can imagine. Starting your days is a great stepping stone to get there. It is an incredible stepping stone. For me, now I wake up every morning, and sometimes I do fall asleep on the couch, but I wake up and I take 2 to 3 minutes to visualize my day, how I want my day to go. That's always number one. Always number one. Visualize my day. And if you're not good at visualize, some people can't create pictures in their mind. Just think about your day. What do you have to do? Who do you have to talk to? What meetings do you have? Do you have a doctor's appointment you're worried about? And think of the most positive outcomes, how you would like those to go. That's what I do first. Number 2, I brew coffee. I dig coffee. I like my coffee in the morning. So I get my coffee going, and as it's brewing, because I'm gonna get into some physical exercise, I actually start doing some yoga stretches. And I learned yoga from some awesome people over the years, and I've learned to incorporate those with what I need my body to do, the mechanics of my body, because we're all different. Nobody's gonna do these stretches the same way as the person next to them. We're all different. We have to work with what we have. And so I start stretching, coffee's done brewing, fill up my pot with coffee, then I ride a bike. I have a recumbent bike. And in the summer or the warmer months, I get outside and ride a bike. I have the recumbent bike. I slide it over and I start riding my bike. And normally I'll put something on the TV that's motivational, something, or I'm learning something. And after that, I do some strength training, all of it in my living room. Picked up a couple kettlebells, a Bosu ball, little foam roller, yoga mat. I'm not looking to freaking be like all crazy. I want to stay limber. I want to stay pretty toned, and I want to be able to continue to do what I do. And so my workout is fairly easy in my living room. Following the workout, jump in the shower. I love a hot shower. Hot showers, for me, are life-changing. Some of the greatest ideas I've ever had in my short time here on the planet came in the hot shower. So we got the visualization, the coffee, the workout, a hot shower. All those things are so important to me. And before I leave the house, I make my bed. And the psychology behind making your bed every day is incredible. I encourage you to look it up. I'm not going to get into it now because we could fill 3 hours of shows with the psychology of how important it is to make your bed every morning. Look it up. But those are the things I do. And the morning ritual will change. It will shift on you. As your life shifts, it will shift. Maybe you're getting in better shape, so you want to, instead of just running on a treadmill or whatever, maybe now you want to start training for a 5K. So your morning little ritual might change, or you might shift your diet. So now there's some cooking involved, or there's some preparation involved, but you can do it whatever works for you. Whatever works for you, because we are all unique. We got our own little idiosyncrasies. But I'm saying start your day off positive with a morning routine that sets you up for success for the next 23 hours of the day, whatever that looks like for you. One of the biggest tips, and if you don't even start a morning routine, because some of us won't, some of us don't. One of the biggest tips that I have heard, and I keep hearing it again and again and again recently, is do not look at your phone for the first 2 hours you are up. And why? Why do you ask? Well, throughout the evening when you're sleeping, your body builds up some cortisol. Cortisol is the stress hormone. Cortisol is the hormone that we create to get into that fight or flight kind of mode. And your body is creating it throughout the night while you're sleeping to give you, when you wake up, you're ready to go. Little pep in your step, right? Well, if you immediately go to your phone and you're seeing the shit show that is the world right now, and maybe you're scrolling through Facebook and seeing negative comments, or you immediately go to your email and, there's something in there you don't like, well, all of a sudden your cortisol is going up again. And there is a bunch of negative physical side effects of carrying that cortisol all the time. So I encourage you, do not even pick up your phone unless you're putting on some tunes, at least for a couple of hours. At least for a couple of hours. If you got to answer email, you got to answer an important phone call, that's one thing. But try to stay away from the social media and that whole deal, at least for the first hour or two. I'd say if you can, do it for 2 hours. You don't need any boost in cortisol. What we're doing here is creating an environment where we feel solid, strong, where we feel confident. A morning routine can do that. Whatever that looks like for you, again. And if you need some help, comment below, drop me a line through Facebook, Instagram, whatever. I'll try to offer any kind of insight I can. The 5 things that I do, I don't do them every single morning. Sometimes it's only 3. Sometimes it's 4. Sometimes it's 5. I don't do them. They don't always all get done. And there's days when they don't get done at all. But I try to get right back on it the next day because they're very important to me. Make them important to you. And let me know how that works out for you. Let me know below in the comments what you're implementing and how that is working, because you will see results quickly. And one of the quickest results I saw was up here. When I got up and set an intention to do some things and I got them done in the first hour, I felt solid, like I could take care of other things. What else I got to do today? You know, it gave me a sense of purpose and a sense of pride from I set out with an intention and I took care of it. What else can I do that day? What other goals can I set and accomplish? That was probably almost immediate, like first day. And you don't have to shoot for the moon out of the gate. You know, make it reasonable. But that morning routine, that morning ritual will change your life. And I encourage you to think about it. And again, comment below. Let me know what you think about it. Or drop me a line. Either way. Because my goal is for us together to build each other up. Build each other up. That is my goal. And DIFY, the book, that's basically, it's an extended version of this show. That book you can read super quick, and I am certain you will get something out of it to help you become the person you can imagine. I guarantee it. So, with that, I want to say thank you very much again for tuning into The Stoke is Real. Subscribe, like, share. I have to keep encouraging that because as we grow, we can inspire more people. And that's the goal. That's the goal. Simple things that can be life-changing. If you get a chance, take a look at DIFY. It's available everywhere. You can get it anywhere. I mean, really, you can. Target, Barnes & Noble, Amazon, it don't matter. And, you know, let's just continue to build each other up and make positivity go viral. How about that?
Come on!